2 months ago, I had this fantasy, this beautiful utopic fantasy of being caught up by March. But April is halfway through, and I'm still so behind. Hello everybody, I'm Roxy, this is Chaotic Bibliophile, and I have given up on being caught up probably until the Masters end, which will be in September. So until then, I am just going to try my best. I will be catching up on some old videos, but also churning out the ones that are more pressing. I understand that objectively none of this is pressing, but you know what I mean. Today I wanted to film a possibility pile for Springathon because I love that readathon. It's hosted by Natalie from Curious Reader and the two hosts of the Book Naturalists, which is a wonderful book club. So I'll link all the info down below so you can check out the announcement. It's basically a readathon where you read nature writing, mostly nonfiction, but it can also be poetry or fiction that has really strong nature elements. It runs for 2 weeks, but a lot of us choose to make it a theme for the entirety of May. This year, however, for me, it's literally impossible. I don't anticipate I'll be having lots of time to read. In fact, I have not had a lot of time to read right now, which will make filming my April wrap-up much easier. But I still wanted to film this because if I have the chance, I will definitely want to reach for some of these books. The first book that I am definitely going to be reading, because it's my pick for the low-key overdue book club for May, is Entangled Life by Merlin Sheldrake. And this is subtitled How Fungi Make Our Worlds, Change Our Minds, and Shape Our Futures. It was actually recommended by Natalie and a lot of other people, but she included this in the video where she discussed the prompts. I forgot to mention the prompts. There are some, and if I read any book, including this one will fulfill some prompts, so there you go. I will match them to prompts later and we'll film a separate wrap-up if I feel like the month merits that. I am really looking forward to this one. I will leave the announcement video down below. I understand a lot of people have read it already, but regardless if you've read it before or you're reading it this month, I will be very much looking forward to your thoughts. Then two books that have very good chances are Hidden Nature, A Voyage of Discovery by Alice Fowler, and this was nominated, yes, shortlisted for the Wainwright Book Prize. It's a very famous nature writing prize. I don't know why I can't say it. This is a memoir of an already established nature writer going to nature on this journey to find out stuff about herself, specifically about her sexuality. So I am really interested in seeing this. I actually bought this, I still remember, in Leeds, which has a lovely, small but so well stocked LGBT plus bookshop in a shopping center. I don't remember the name. Oh, actually, the Bookish Type in Leeds. So if you're ever in Leeds, the Bookish Type, I will leave their website down below. And the other book that has a really good shot, both because of its structure and because I'm so excited, The Best American Science and Nature Writing by Yong. Edited by Yong. And this is one of my 22 books to read for 2022 list, which I will link down below. I made a video about it and it finally arrived. It actually arrived months ago and I was so confident I was going to be able to pick it up right away. And it didn't happen, but essays are something that I'm interested in reading right now. Anything that's like small format. You know, I love this series and I am really interested in how Yong curated it because he did structure it in relation to the pandemic, but not everything is COVID related. So I think that's really cool. And then I have a collection of poetry, How to Fly by Barbara Kingsolver. This was my first Barbara Kingsolver. And I've started this already, actually. Read a couple of poems. They've been a bit hit and miss, but there is one that hits so hard that I am definitely going to make a video at some point of That Feeling When, of which I made one video and proclaimed it a series and never continued, but I have ideas for that. So eventually something will come. But yeah, I might get to that collection if I need poetry in my life, which I do. I am currently reading a poetry collection. I always have a poetry collection on the go. More nonfiction, more essays actually. The River of Consciousness by Oliver Sacks. I love Oliver Sacks, of course. He was so cool. He's everything I wished I could be. He just traveled all over. He's a neuroscientist. He's a writer. He's interested in so many different things. And his writing, actually, I've never read in English, which I am excited to do. This is his final collection before he passed away, so I'm really excited. And I found a bookmark. This is Golden Hair Books in Edinburgh. Really nice bookshop. Then Paul Nurse's What is Life? And I thought it had a subtitle, but it's just blurbs by Brian Cox and Bill Bryson from Nobel Prize winner. So there you go. This also has a decent chance because it's more like essays. It's a short book and the font is easy to read. But what is so interesting about this, and the reason I bought it, is because it considers life from different perspectives. Sort of, when does life start? That sounds like an abortion debate, but it's not that. It's, for example, life as chemistry, life as information, the gene, evolution, so those sort of things. It sounds really interesting and I really want to read it. I explained it terribly, but I am trying to get to these books fairly fast. Also, I'm recording on the day this is going to go up, which is a new feeling for me. Yeah, I'm trying to not edit as much as possible, so we'll see how it goes. Always, please let me know if you like these more chaotic, chatty videos, because they are certainly a little bit easier to make. Although I always have to resist the impulse to not cut all the chaos. But anyways, another interesting book, but this one doesn't have as great chances just because I want to really enjoy it, and we'll see. Wonders, A History of Women Walking by Kerri Andrews. Organized by woman, let's say. Well, there is an introduction called Setting Off, but then Elizabeth Carter, Dorothy Wordsworth, Ellen Wheaton, Sarah Stoddard Hartlett, Harriet Martineau, Virginia Woolf, Nan Shepherd, Anais Nin, Cheryl Strait, and finally Linda Cracknell and A Female Tradition. I think it's great. I am so interested in walking studies, all the peripatetic stuff, not only as it pertains to the romantics, but just in general, especially in contrast with the urban and the natural, the wild, etc. And especially now from a female perspective, because when I got into these things, I failed to notice they were so male-centered. And then what I noticed is like, I need to read more. And so, of course, I want to read Rebecca Solnit, and I will get to that. Is that a spoiler for a future book club book? Who knows? I kept seeing it on bookstores and I really wanted it, so finally I got it. Yeah, another book that doesn't have a great chance for this month because it is another one that I want to take my time with and like be very focused, but who knows, maybe I'll just pick it up. That is Landmarks by Robert Macfarlane. This is a classic, of course, of nature writing, like everything he writes, but this one I think is his most well-known, and I think Underworld now has become that as well, but this was first. So it's funny because I got this as a blind date with the book. I posted a picture on an Insta story and Natalie answered before I unwrapped it that she knew what it was, and yeah, it's fun. I'm really looking forward to it. It is amazing. It sounds amazing. I am so overdue with reading his bibliography, but as I said, I don't know if May will be the month. One that actually has decent chances because it's more info than anything else. It's Polar Bear by Marjorie Fee. Is it Fee? Yeah, Fee. And this is part of the Animal series by Recmebook&stuff Books. They have a bunch. I want to get all of the bear books because I love bears. Weird sentence to say. Bears are my favorite animal and I really want to know more about all types of bears. This is also really beautiful and it has illustrations and it feels like it is so different from what I'll be doing that it might be nice. Then I have a memoir of magic, Riding the World's Wildest Horse Race by Lara Pryor Palmer. This I became aware of because Olive reviewed it and loved it so much. And yeah, she has excellent taste, especially in nonfiction. And so I've been wanting to read it since then. And I found a secondhand copy at Bear Island, I think it's called. Yeah, in Cardiff. Lovely secondhand bookshop in the market, which also has delicious food. Not the bookshop, the market. So if you're ever in Cardiff, you definitely need to hit that. I have short stories as well, Trilobites and Other Stories by DJ Pancake. I found out about this book because of Literary Disco. They reviewed it, and it's always been kind of in the back of my mind. DJ Pancake died, I think, very young. This is a posthumous collection, actually, but it supposedly has had a lot of reverberations in sort of writer circles in the US. And I think he writes, about West Virginia, and specifically rural West Virginia. So I think if I'm in the mood for short stories, this will be a really good option to pick up. More essays, but this one actually maybe more plausible than the Best American Nature Writing, just on account of its small size. And this is Wendell Berry's What I Stand For Is What I Stand On. It is the little penguin green ideas book. And then I have Aristotle and Dante Dive Into the Waters of the World by Benjamin Alire Sáenz. This is the sequel to Ari and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe. I really, really like that book. I would argue it is my favorite YA, or maybe tied with or right after Asking for It by Louise O'Neill. But whereas Ari and Dante is a comfort book, Asking for It is not, basically. So anyways, this is the sequel. I've been waiting for years to read it. And it looks chunky, but it's YA chunky, so it's very short. And I really might need some cotton candy for my brain, and I think this might be that. Hopefully it holds up. I did reread Ari and Dante during the pandemic, and although I wish there was a version of that book that wasn't YA, so it would be more developed and give me more of what I want, I still enjoyed the core of it and the characters, so I'm looking forward to that one. And finally, I have this book called The Only Gaijin in the Village, A Year Living in Rural Japan by Iain Maloney. A friend explained to me that this was a pun. It was related to a show, and I forget the details, but I didn't know that when I picked this up, so there you go, context. As it is, Iain Maloney was, I think, already a nature writing. He is Scottish. His Japanese wife and him moved to a village in rural Japan, and this is his account of that. I am so excited to read this. If I need something more humorous, this is what I might lean towards. But again, between this and the other memoir that I have, I think the other has more chances. But still, I wanted to show you this book. I definitely want to read it as soon as possible because it sounds amazing. Also, I dream of going to Japan, and not only Tokyo. I really, really want to go to all the rural villages and the temples, and I just really want to see Japan, and I don't know when it'll happen, but I hope it happens soon-ish, not important. So yeah, I want to live vicariously through Iain here. We will see if I get to it. The only thing that I regret is that I have no graphic novels in this, and I have been reading a lot of them, as you'll see in the first part of my March wrap-up, which hopefully will be up soon. But I might get some. I do have to get some for uni purposes, so I might also get some for not uni purposes. Have you read any of these books? Do you want to read any of these books after hearing me talk about them? What are you reading for Springathon? Yes, that is the name of the thing that I've been talking about this entire video. Again, all the info will be down below. And if you've made a TBR, please do let me know and I will check it out. Before we leave, 2 plugs. The Book Crumbles podcast is back. We had a few technical issues and also just time-consuming issues. That is one thing, so link down below to the Book Crumbles podcast, and also the Movable Type podcast, which is the PhD students run peer review journal of the UCL English department podcast. We are having an episode on environmental humanities for April, which will be up at the end of April, so it'll be perfect. You can listen to it during May. and it's coming along very nicely. I'm very excited. We have lovely contributors, including an interview with a really cool author. So I'm really looking forward to share it with you. I will link our February and March episodes, which are part 1 and 2 of our LGBT plus History Month episodes. And then you'll know where to find the next one. Just so you know what's up. Also, the next video that should be up will be the Booker Prize review. Then definitely there are Little Kingdoms, which I have filmed. I filmed it almost after I finished the book. Then first part of March wrap up, which I have filmed already, and then we'll see according to the dates. I am aiming for 2 weekly videos soon-ish, but I'm making no promises because I've been known to be overly optimistic about these things. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video and see you next time. Bye. I can't speak. I want to record and I can't speak. What is going on with my French? Oh no. Oh no, it's kind of like doing that. Oh no. Okay. Anyways, sorry. Oh no, I cannot see it now. Okay. All right. I'll leave it there.